Hello everyone, welcome back. So we are in CSWE, or let's say Certified SolidWorks Expert exam preparation tutorials. So I decided to go with this since the topic is important for me right now. And the CSWE, let's say, is the highest level of certification you can get from SolidWorks and requires that you have both passed, let's say, the CSWP exam and four of the five CSWP advanced, let's say advanced topic exams before you attempt it. You can actually find more information in SolidWorks website regarding CSWE exam. But over here, I'm gonna go ahead and go with you important topics as you see, but not limited to these topics. I'll have a lot of exam related practice regarding these topics that I've prepared for you. SolidWorks actually has an intended method for every problem. If you can figure out how they want you to solve the problems, the exam is pretty easy. And you should be able to solve the same problem in SolidWorks using a lot of different methods. But if you are too rigid and too stick, and you try to stick with more traditional ways of doing things in SolidWorks, then you won't fare well. Okay, today I'm gonna go ahead and start. Let's say I've made this like question number one. So actually, this is everyone knows. These are not actual exam questions, and I can't give any actual exam question. Even I don't have an actual exam questions. But these type of questions are somehow related to an actual exam, like in the form of techniques. So you need to have. So I'm just showing you the techniques you might need in the real exam. If you have the question something like this, so you might need to know for, like part modifications, or you should be able to work on modifying important geometry, let's say, and also because of a part file without a feature history, and I mean, it shouldn't scare you, right? So you should be able to modify, you should be able to change the geometry if you don't have any feature history. Okay, so we have the same type of part over here, as you see this handle. So we need to rotate this handle a certain degree around this. How do I know the certain degree? Maybe in the real exam you don't have any degree, right? So you might need to go ahead and check that. So I'm gonna go ahead and check that as well. But over here, that I can tell you that is a certain degree angle orientation. We need to go from this orientation to this orientation, and we need to identify the center of mass of this part. Okay, let's go ahead and try it. This is first surface modification. We'll have this is a part modification actually, but we are going to use a couple of surfacing tools. Since I have covered a surfacing exam on my YouTube channel regarding a couple of question types, so you can go ahead and check those tutorial series first. But now we need to tackle this handle. We need to rotate. As you see, there is no feature history over here. This is like an important geometry, and geometry is like, as you see, it's like solid body right now. So we don't have anything to do over here using feature history. Okay, there are a couple of ways to tackle this problem, and I'm gonna show those ways over here with you, and we try to understand how we can go with these techniques and which one is easier to use, let's say. Actually, before attempting CSWE exam, I recommend you just go ahead and check my professional techniques and customizations regarding CSWE SolidWorks certification exams, because they will be really helpful, and you should be able to comfortable to use all those techniques before taking the real exam. Okay, let's go ahead and try to see. The first, what can I tell you? You should be able to know about, let's say, let me go ahead and check the eyeball. Over here, eyeball, we have a couple of views that we can manage. Let's say first, like this temporary axis. If I turn on the temporary axis, I'll have this axis, I'll have this axis, which allow me to measure the angle between this line to this line, right? Or I can draw the line as well, or I can get the let's say in the sketch, I forgot actually, intersection curve. Using the intersection curve command, I can get the projection of this edge, and then I can find angle between the edge and also this surface. So it's pretty easy task. Let's go ahead and try to use measurement tool. You should be able to use measurement tool all the time. Let's check this and also check this, and we have 60-degree angle. Okay, so if the angle is 60 degree, as I said before, we need to rotate this part 30-degree angle around this side. We need to make it perpendicular. Okay, the first method is let's say the common method that everyone knows, or if you don't know, just follow this tutorial I'm gonna show you. Okay, first we need to, as you see, this is a solid part, right? So we need to modify this part, and we need to rotate this handle around these axes, some of these, the axes that I showed you before, around these axes. So we have an axis, we have a rotation axis, let's say, and we have a part. So we just need to separate this handle from this part. In order to do that, we need to convert this into surface body. Let's go ahead and do that. And also, I recommend you just to turn on the direct editing. Just right-click tabs, just turn on the direct editing from here, since you are going to use a lot of these features during this exam. Or the easier way, just put into your shortcut like S key. You will have all direct editing tools over here. I'm gonna go ahead and select the delete face command right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and select this face, and not delete and patch, just delete. Let's click OK. As you see, I have separated this handle from this part, and now let's say now it's time to rotate this part around this axis. In order to do that, I have a move copy bodies command that I've placed to direct editing. If you don't have, just go ahead and search over here, or just go to insert feature and move copy bodies that you can easily use. Okay, I'm gonna go to I've added to my shortcuts as well, so you can do that. Go ahead and check my professional techniques and customizations tutorial on my YouTube channel. Let's go ahead and select this, and I'm gonna go ahead and select this. Cannot be selected. Okay, let's go ahead and try to select from feature manager design tree, and we should have a surface bodies over here. Okay, first this one and second this one. As you see, now it's selected. Let's go ahead and try to select rotate around, let's say, this axis, right? So we should be able to rotate now around this axis. The rotation probably will be, if we type 30, it will be down. So I'm gonna go ahead and write negative 30. Oh, just positive 30, let's say. Okay, now this is straight. So we need to rotate this part around the axis. It's easy task. Let's click OK. But in order to prevent the copies, just go ahead and try to uncheck copy. Let's go ahead and click OK. Okay, we have rotated this. Now it's time to add the profile back, this profile back, using this loft surface command, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and select these two, and I'm gonna go to surface, and I'll use lofted surface. The guide surface will be the same axis, let's say, the same path as you see around this side. Okay, let's go ahead and click OK. So I've created path. It looks nice, but before knitting them together, don't forget that we have the surface that we need to trim away. I'm gonna go ahead and select these two. Just right click, go to isolate. That I can easily see that this side, and we need to trim this side away from the part. And I'm gonna go to use the trim tool, and surface trim, mutual trim, we can select both, and keep selections or remove selections. I'm gonna go ahead and select this because I need to remove this side. Okay, not that side. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the surface loft. Okay, let's go ahead and click OK and try to see, and it looks nice. And I'll exit the isolation, and I'm gonna go ahead and, let's say, turn off all these. Let's try to rebuild the part, and now it's time to knit the surface. If you can't use knit surfacing options, create solid, it means or you can go ahead and just surface and thicken the surface. You can use that option too. Now it's time to check our geometry. Let's go to section views. I'm gonna go to select this. Okay, because it's turned off. Delete this, rotate it back. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and select this. I'll turn this off. Okay, so this is the now perfect geometry. Okay, looks nice. So we have successfully rotated this part around this axis that I told you before. Okay, the question is, let's say the question might be like mass of the part. What is the central mass? Over here I just put a central mass. What is the central mass of this part? Let's go and try to see that. The central mass will be x this, y this, and z this. Okay guys, so I'll have a couple of surface modification tools that, because it's challenging, you need to know, you need to use a lot of surfacing commands. Okay, see you in the next tutorial.